Thank you, Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Have you ever considered that life is full of mountains and valleys? When I say mountains, I'm talking about the good times. When you get a promotion at a job, you're healthy, you get married, or you buy a house. The valleys are the more trying times, conflicts in relationships, declining health, the loss of a loved one or a job. Can you think of a valley that you had in your life? I'm sure you can, because most people are either headed into one, on their way out, or in the midst of a valley. I can clearly recall my deepest valley. It happened about a year after I was married and lasted for a couple years. Right now, life is good. I just celebrated 11 years of marriage with my husband. We have 2 beautiful, healthy daughters, and last year, we purchased our first home together. And when we first met, it was like a song. Summer lovin', having a blast. Summer lovin', happened so fast. We had so much fun together, fell in love, and got married within a year of meeting each other. Life was good. So, what happened? What went wrong? About a year after we got married, the honeymoon was over, and life was hard. I was drowning in student loan debt. I had 3 jobs, and we never had enough money. And to top it off, we were dealing with issues revolving around my husband's immigrant status. How would that situation make you feel? I can tell you, I was depressed, and my husband was angry. Every day, we were drifting deeper into that valley. And we didn't know how to talk to each other. Discussions would turn into arguments, which would get aggressive. And it felt like there was no way out. There was no end in sight. Until one day, when I was about 4 months pregnant, I called my dad and said, "Come get me." And he did. I moved from Albany to Buffalo because I thought that would solve the problem. The thing is, I still loved him. But I kept asking myself, how many times will I let him hurt me? How can I possibly forgive him for all of the things that he has done? Is it easy for you to forgive others? It was a difficult time, and I had no idea what to do. I spent months considering my options. I even called divorce lawyers. And when I thought I was at the lowest point in my life, when I had nowhere to turn, I started going to church. I can vividly recall the service at the chapel when the pastor was speaking about forgiveness. And it felt like a burden was lifted off my shoulders when I heard God talking to me from the pastor. I learned that I can forgive because I have been forgiven. And there is no limit to the number of times that I should forgive. Forgiveness may look different for everyone, but for me, it meant allowing my husband back in my life. And together with God, we were able to climb out of that valley. At the beginning of my marriage, I was terrified of those valleys because I thought I was going through them alone. And I know now that God was pursuing me even then, from the people who invited me to church to the pastor who spoke about forgiveness. I don't know what valley you are in or what valleys you will go through, but I do know there will be valleys. And you don't have to go through them alone. God was pursuing me, and he's pursuing you. He wants you to open your heart and let him in. And the mountains and the valleys, it doesn't matter where you are, God wants to be with you. He pursued me, and he loves and is pursuing you. And it's just like that other song. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough to keep God from loving you.